Our ability to solve problems. We get great pride in our problem solving confidence. And we know very well how to do it. We learn all our life. Some of us take our own personal reputation on our ability to solve problems. And whether or not we display all the intellectual traits that of critical thinking, or we are exceptional in the intellectual standards of critical thinking, normally our strategy to solve problem is the one that you see in this image. And there is nothing wrong with this. We normally state, structure, solve, and then sell the problem. This is rather normal. This is a great way to solve problem until we deal with a different kind of problem. For those different kind of problem, sometimes we need a different way to think about the problem than what we are seeing in this image. I want to give you an example of how to solve problems that involve complexity, that involve many people, problems that involve a lot of possible variables. In those kind of problems, our tendency is to spend a lot of time in the analysis, and then when it's a bit too late, we just do something. And that is not the best possible option. Another way to solve problems that I've seen in organization is that there is maybe a much faster analysis. We jump straight into action. And as we are implementing the solution, we realize that we're solving the wrong problem. But we continue because we're committed. And predictably, the final outcome is not what we expect. We normally blame bad execution for that. Now, there is a better way. I want to give you an example of what is another way to do this. For example, what I notice is that often problems are ill-defined. This is an ill-defined pain point. This is the beginning of an understanding of how to solve problems differently. Understanding this pain point, which might be ill-defined. Our sales are dropping. Our culture is the problem. We need clear rules and more penalties. So, ill-defined pain point might be an issue sometimes. Another thing that I notice with many people that I work with, there's a very abstract goal that we don't know how to reach. How do we become market leader? How do we learn to spot market opportunities? How can we change our own culture? This is where we are now. We want to be somewhere else. It's a total mystery for us how to get to that place. Another situation that is very common is what I call an implementation problem. So there is a solution that we love and we apply that to the problem. We should build an app, or my dream is to create a business that sells Italian ice cream, or how do I find a cool job like that? So we go straight from the problem to the beautiful solution that we think we want to apply. Another issue, very similar to the previous one, is the hammer problem. It's an HR problem. It's a budget problem. It's not a problem at all. We are good at solving problems. This problem falls a little bit outside. We still consider that problem part of our competency. Now, what I am trying to share with you here is, and I want to do this with an example, the importance of problem framing, the art of problem framing. The example that I often do is the one of the elevator that is too slow. We think that the solution space is to make the elevator faster, upgrading the motor or improving the algorithm or installing a new elevator. We jump straight from the problem to the solution implementation. But sometime, with a bit more space, a bit more time on the problem and reframing the problem, we can get to a very different place. And here is an example. We can think, for example, that reframing the problem, rather than accepting the problem as given and making the elevator faster, maybe the real issue is not that the elevator is too slow, but that the wait is annoying. If that's the case, make the wait feel shorter is truly the problem. And it's that we need to work on before we can actually work towards the solution space. Putting up mirrors, installing hand sanitizer, or playing music, they're all possible options to solve this problem. I want to give you kind of a general idea here. What is it that I'm saying overall? that what problem are we trying to solve is not as obvious as it seems. The presenting problem is often, in my experience, not the problem they were really trying to solve. And so you need to have this agility to actually do this loop of reframing. And you have to ask yourself, is there a different way to see this problem? And to do that, there are strategies, questions that you can ask yourself that allow you to move forward and to keep your momentum in solving the problem. Let me give you an example of some of the questions you can ask in order to do this work. Is the problem statement true? Are there self-imposed limitations? Is it baked into the problem framing? Is the problem clear? With whom is the problem located? Are there strong emotions? Are there false trade-offs? Let me give you an example here. An example of problem that I have been dealing with in my life in organization that exemplify those 7 questions to ask. For example, we're not empowering enough female leaders to become effective and visible role model. Is this really true? We want to develop better nutrition education to promote healthier eating at school. Is this a self-imposed limitation? We need to improve the profitability of new clients acquisition. Is the solution baked into the problem? We need to reduce employees' attrition from 15 to 5%. Is the problem clear? What is the problem here? 5. We should decide once and for all between high quality and low cost. With whom is the problem located? We need to change the process that was created randomly by people who didn't have a design mindset. Are there strong emotions present? And 7, we need to reduce our budget to finance the solution and solve the problem. Do we have false trade-off? I want to show you those images one more time. Those questions are questions that can help you in the art of reframing the problem and moving into solutions that are more satisfactory and that guarantee you more success.